Yeah, Vega's been, I want to say they've even ran it twice now in this event. Again, they've only played this is their 4th match overall, so 2 of the 3 games. They've ran that support Sven, or maybe only once. I know we've seen it in general a couple times. Point is, it has been a little underwhelming. It really has been. On paper, again, it kind of makes sense with the whole Warcry buff and the Stormhammer stun to stall stun, but it doesn't seem like it's really doing enough in the big picture. And he is their only kind of solid lockdown right now. You have Magnus RP, but of course you're not relying on that. So I'm looking at both teams. And lockdown in general is a bit lacking on either side as far as consistent lockdown that is. But either way,
Yeah.
the DK ban.
You mentioned lockdown. That would have been a nice here to maybe see what Vega want to go for instead.
OD is
like,
still there.
Yeah, OD sounds decent. I mean, for either team, kind of. It's like a nice, not too ulti dependent hero. I mean, he's got great ultimate you want to fight around, but he's kind of can be active and online more often. I think maybe better for Spirit, but could maybe work for Vega. Seems a little bit greedy with the AM and Magnus already on the team though.
Yeah. And a support Sven is still, yeah, just, that would be perhaps a little bit too much. Maybe one that is a fair amount more active in the earlier parts. So, in fact, they ban OD themselves. Yeah, if they're not going to pick it, don't want to give it up. So, more than active mid, Lena always comes to mind as far as just that solid option.
Yeah. Yeah. What does Mage like to play? I mean, Invoker, Shadow Fiender is 2 big most played heroes, but both of those sound pretty greedy as well when you've got an anti-mage on your team. Go for Bat Rider as
Mid Dazzle.
Yeah, there we go. Bat Rider's an offlaner, so mid. Magnus could be. Magnus has played quite a bit as support, but I don't know about Magnus and Sven as your 2 supports.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a mid Magnus.
Maybe it's maybe it's a support Bat Rider with a mid Dazzle and like a Bat Rider Sven support.
Oh yeah.
Like they could definitely do a lot of things here. I know KZU plays a lot. That's one of his most played heroes. So that's why I would lean towards it being an off-lane Bat Rider. But yeah,
I think so. I think the big change there is then either Magnus or Dazzle is the mid. I'm not sure which. But I think Bat Rider in the offlane makes the most sense. This hero as a support, I think, has just seen too many nerfs to be even viable as a support. Needs too many items.
Great core laner against a Phantom Assassin, so one of the reasons why they like it, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, we're confused. Imagine Spirit are confused. They're like, who's going mid? Who's like, what are we counter picking from?
Exactly. They don't really know the matchup, so they're gonna go Shadow Fiend themselves. All right, so who's playing what? It will be Madara Dazzle. Oh.
Okay. Who's playing anti-mage then?
So it's gonna be Mage on anti-mage. I guess that works.
Not the switch up I would expect from this team. I feel like I've always only seen Madara Mage play the mids, but support Magnus not too crazy. Nothing, that out of the ordinary there. I think the supports look bad when you see Sven Magnus support, but as far as the actual lanes go, we've seen this 5-position Sven work, and Magnus plus Bat Rider is actually like a decent-ish lane, so it should work okay.
I'm trying to think, just because it's Mage playing the anti-mage doesn't mean he's going to be mid, right? Like, I still assume we're going to see a safe lane anti-mage with a mid Dazzle.
Yeah. And there's an SF on the other side, so I think you want to send the Dazzle there.
Well, take a look at the odds there. Favoring Team Spirit by a fair amount. It's one of the closer odds that we've had, but Team Spirit the favorite here. You go to es.bet. You can check it out for yourself and place a bet if you like the odds, how they're looking. And you can also get that insurance for the WePlay Winter Madness throughout this event, again, into next week as well with the playoffs taking place starting on a Wednesday. So, again, es.bet. So, we mentioned it's really for Team Spirit, this match specifically. They win, they move on, they lose. It'll be Kai P advancing us. Obviously, if you're Kai P as well, I'm sure they're watching this match and watching closely in terms of if they're going to be moving on or not, rooting for Vega Squadron. Pull out a victory, but looking at the lineups, again, there are some. I don't think either side necessarily decisively won the draft. There's just a lot of questions, more so for Vega's draft.
Yeah, I think Vega's looks a lot weirder. doesn't straight up look better. Like, I'm not a big fan of Shadow still. Again, his +1 armor, you know, like 2 patches in a row or something. I think he got +1 armor on 7.20, then another armor 7.20E. But the hero still has a lot of weaknesses that haven't been fixed.
Yeah, we just saw it earlier today. In fact, Mage for Vega Squadron ran it, earlier today. And we saw those weaknesses most certainly coming into play. Was being ganked pretty aggressively and had a struggle to start and could not come back with it. So, do have the pause to kick things off. But again, Madara's playing the Dazzle, so we'll see here in just a second. Confirm that he's going mid, because you'd figure, yeah, again, that Shadow Fiend matchup, that you probably want the Dazzle over the Anti-Mage.
Yeah.
Against him there.
I can check it out in game. It is Dazzle, well, I don't know. Neither of them has like all. It's actually Kezu going mid on Batrider. There we go.
Really?
Yeah, he's got a Null Talisman first item.
I don't know if that confirms, but I guess. Like, against the Shadow Fiend?
2 pulled Tangos. Yeah, it's not 100% confirmed, but you don't normally want to go to wide lane with 2 pulled Tangos, so I believe he's going mid. The Null Talisman, getting that extra base damage out of that, and we'll see how he does against SF. SF for his bat. 2 heroes with terrible base damage at level 1. We'll see how that matchup goes.
Yeah, see, that would just seem like, why though? It's not, again, I mentioned, if anything, he's great against Phantom Assassin in that lane and being able to Firefly on top and really harass her down. So I'm surprised, in the Shadow Fiend matchup, doesn't scream like overwhelming for Batrider. But he is lining up mid. I mean, you're right. He's blocking mid right now. Huh. Bounty runes. So far, it's 2 for 1. There's a battle at the bottom one, it looks like. In fact, we're going to see first blood. That's Madara. Remember, that's a core Dazzle that they take out right there for the first blood. So Vega does get 3 to 1 bounty runes, but they give up first blood for it. That always feels bad.
Yeah, it probably not quite worth it just to get 1 extra bounty rune, but we'll see how this lane goes. Maybe getting another kill down here.
Pexu is backing off. You see the spams of the daggers, and this goes back to this new Chen. You see he got the Penitence level 1. This is how you play Chen now, it feels like. You don't worry about taking over creeps. You'll get level 1 eventually, but you'll probably see him sit on that and go 4-4-1 basically as far as the skill build goes.
Yep. We'll see the tri-lane persist down bottom. Team Spirit with the Chen want to make the most of this tri-lane. They're going to leave Brewmaster on his own up top, 1v2. He's going to do just fine. Sven doesn't have any mana or health up here, so I think Brewmaster is actually not too worried about this lane.
I was focusing on the recall a lot, but honestly the Divine Favor, I think, is another big part of how this hero has just changed the playstyle too. With Chen, being able to spam that on your Phantom Assassin, both with the regen and the damage buff that it gives. So I know I'm talking about Chen quite a bit. I've having to play him a bit. He's one of my more favorite heroes to play. So nice. been a fan of the change. As I'm
focusing more, do you find yourself focusing more just on the left, grabbing those neutrals?
Well, yeah, pretty much. As I've gotten older, I was going to say my micro skills have gone down a little bit. So I like the fact that he's not as reliant on controlling the neutral creeps and using them very effectively. But obviously you can still play that way too. It's not like that's completely gone away. He still has that option, and eventually as the game picks up, you will still be building the army.
I mean, old Chen, it was like literally get creeps and do stuff with creeps. New Chen, it's like, okay, go to lane, use some spells, grab creeps if you want.
Madara, he's dead. Again, it is a 3 versus 2 down here. Magnus is not your ideal support, really, to kind of play with, honestly. So that really does seem like a funky lane for Vega Squadron when it comes to having success.
Esojos is bullying up top as well. He's taking the 1v2 and just trading right clicks, running straight at the Anti-Mage as well as the Sven, and he's looking like he's in a pretty good position as well.
I was going to say with the Magnus support, it's like, well, at least he's, as Pexu's just going to commit suicide here, but with the Magnus support, at least he's going to be able to spam Empower more likely on the Anti-Mage, earlier on in the game. He's not even laning with him, though. So that option itself is kind of taken away. Eventually may move and go to do that, but the fact that he's down here and he's in trouble. He's trying to pull. He has Skewer. Oh, he takes Chen with him. TP. Okay, he should get out. Just delays it, I guess.
Yeah, once that roll has been used, the stun is out of the picture.
So we'll see if he goes back to the bottom. He is going back to the bottom, so he is committed to just staying out there. Anyways, how's this mid lane going? Oh, wow, they have the last hits. Weird. Okay, so 9 and 7 Bat Rider versus 6 and 1 Shadowfiend. So Bat Rider is doing very well now.
Yeah, yeah, it looks like Bat Rider with a bit of an edge. That kill potential from a Bat Rider means the SF more cautiously than he'd like to.
Yeah, but as usual with the Shadowfiend, you know, you're going to see the early start a bit slower, but as it picks up and the souls start adding up, before you know it, he's feeling pretty good. Now, that was a missed barrel roll in the middle lane, kids. He's just running after Prile. You see that Firefly, you're just talking about it. Dear God, he burns away. But now KheZu, I don't know if he's getting out of this one. The penitence initially applied, it wears off, but he ends up dying to the tower and gives up gold to multiple heroes.
He could have lived. If he doesn't take those tower shots, he can just TP out. There's nothing to stun him, and they don't have the damage stacks. So I'm a bit surprised to see him die to tower, but he also maybe calculates, like, well, look, if I TP home, I've got to walk back to lane. If I just die to this tower, I can then TP back to lane. So I think maybe it was actually an intentional death to the tower, even though the kill was shared between the heroes. I imagine he was just happy with the outcome regardless.
Yeah, very possible. The logic could also be like, what if that chance that it doesn't work, and all of a sudden your TP's on cooldown, you have to walk back, so there's a downside there too. But KheZu's like, all right, he's dead, but he's going to kill Prile with him, so we just saw this, it feels like deja vu. And it happens again. I mean, that's, yeah, KheZu's fine with that, honestly. That's 3 heroes. He's still got the kill first anyways.
Yeah, this is just a bloodbath of the mid lane, but KheZu getting the better of the SF for the most part. Probably not a matchup SF has played all too much.
Yeah, that's true. It's not often you're pairing up against a Bat Rider.
But it is Brawl. Brawl's played a lot of SF, so who knows exactly. As right now, yeah, Bat Rider not really farming all that well, only 12 life. But it's, you know, you're a Bat Rider. You're kind of a 3 position, even though you're playing the mid lane. It's a hero that needs a lot of farm.
I mean, this lineup is built around, as a lot of anti-mage lineups are, it's built around, well, let's just make sure he gets the farm and, you know, is able to take over the game. So create that space, and Bat Rider is most certainly going to be a good hero for that. You know, gets that Forest Staff and the Blink, of course, as well as even the drums. We'll see what does come out for KheZu, but yeah, he's not going to be looking to carry by any means in this game. Pegsu, ooh, that was close. Almost forgot to pick up the bounty rune. So he turned around there, but he does. So good to go. Dazzle at the bottom lane, 16 and 4 CS. He's going to heavily harass the Phantom Assassin there, but if Dazzle, if I saw that correctly, I believe, was he still level 3? I mean, he seems under-leveled, man.
That would not be good. He's had a rough time. He died a couple times very early on. Managed to start getting some last hits here, but you can see the PA heavily out-farming. But meanwhile, mid-rotation coming in with a tower dive from the Chen creeps.
Sven Magnus, they're TPing in, though. And Arman and Biber both realize that, trying to fall back the flame break push. I think Chen is for sure dead. He's just going to go the other direction and say, you know what, if you want me, that's all you're getting. He buys a medallion as he dies. So good to go there. But that gank obviously thwarted off. Good job, Sven. Also a couple of wards on him. Going to get those placed down. Also sees the regen rune. Pick that up and head back towards the top lane. But I mentioned Brewmaster earlier. He's obviously managing pretty well himself, but overall Anti-Mage is actually farming, essentially free farming, because he's not really the most threatened as far as dying, of course, up here.
And I think if AM and PA are trading free farm, you feel much better if you're on the AM side of that. It's a hero that's very item timing dependent as far as the game as a whole goes.
And this is a kill. Nesta, he falls.
The brawler, but yeah, it's not going to save his life.
Well played to take out top lane. Madara at the bottom lane, TPing out. He's good. Makes his way out of there. You see Chen throwing in that mud golem, but stun was on cooldown. Could not do much more at that point, so let's get away. Chen does not have Divine Favor yet. Level 2 Penitence, level 1 Holy Persuasion. So I'm actually curious to see if he levels up that Holy Persuasion or not. Divine Favor is really good, so I'd be shocked if he doesn't pick up that now. Following. He does have a medallion, though. It's a good item.
Yeah, no boots or anything, just happy to go for that early game damage amp. Pair that with the your first spell, and you've got some pretty good ganking kill potential.
Brewmaster is level 6, Primal Split online, ready to go. Yeah, look at Madara, he's only level 4 now still. In fact, he's going to be gone on it. Oh my god, he is cut down. Phantom Assassin, nice little 200 plus crit. Easy follow-up to his supporting cast, starting that off. And Dazzle, I didn't check to see if he had Shallow Grave or not. Either way, he's not living there.
Yeah, I don't imagine he does. You don't really want to level that early on, but never know exactly.
ES.bet, again, you can make your wager if you'd like. You see the odds right there, definitely favoring Vega Squadron right now. But obviously after that death, I mean, honestly, it's really hard to tell, you know, truly who's in a very good spot this game. It's still way too early on. But middle lane, KZU, this time he might have bit off a little bit more than he could chew. Looks like it.
Yeah, and Brawl even gets the last hit. There we go. Turns around and gives KZU some tips. They were having some fun in the lobby. They were throwing around some banter, saying hi to each other and all that. So two guys who seem to be pretty good friends.
Yeah. He deserves that, though. He tipped them earlier.
Oh, yeah.
So that one backfired. Obviously, maybe next time he's going to soak up some experience. In the meantime, a top lane, rest of Joe Rotten. He might live. The Drunken Brawler, speedy enough, is it? A couple more auto attacks, the miss kicking in. Dear God, if he actually lives here, I don't think he is, but it took a lot longer than they would have liked. Madara, though, goes down at the bottom lane. He is just not having a good game at all. That's his third death, I want to say. And under-leveled, under-farmed. Dazzle is not going to have much impact early on.
Yeah, not happy whatsoever. Playing Dazzle as a core and getting off to a slow start is pretty bad, but it's a hero that's meant to be kind of early game, mid game focused as a core.
Pexu himself in a bit of a fight, so says I might as well go for it. Skewer in, again, no RP, he's on level 4 in Magnus, but Bryle's in a bad spot now because that Skewer, and he ends up burning down to the fire. Biver, also too deep. There's a shrine in the area. They don't even need it, though. This is the Dire team winning this by massively. As I say that, they do lose Dazzle in the midst of it, as he got the Primal Split activated by Hester Joe Ryan, but they're going to pop the shrine. Only 2 heroes in the back lines. KZU coming back down from that Primal Split, throwing him in the air initially. Phantom Assassin jumps in as well. The Flame Break pushback, but KZU is going to fall, and a double kill for Skitter on PA. So, again, the start looks good for Vega. They did kill Shadow Fiend, but the end went decent for Spirit with the Phantom Assassin kill.
Yeah, the Firefly wearing off, suddenly fight got a whole lot better. It does cost them, like, the PA rotating in. Maybe they're not done here. It's Hester, they're flying over these bounty runes. It will be Vega picking up 3 out of 4, it looks like.
Yeah, Mage up there at the top lane. Getting those, so that is the great news for Vega. Even despite all that fighting back and forth, lasting almost a minute long, Andy Mage was farming top lane by himself.
Yeah, that's kind of the cost where PA rotates in, whereas AM doesn't need to, and it was a 2-for-2 trade, whereas one team brings their carry, and the carry that doesn't show up is the anti-mage, who continues to get some good farm. He is behind PA ever so slightly, but he's well on his way to a Battle Fury.
Looking at Shadow Fiend, 3,800 gold saved up. We'll see in a second here what he is ultimately going to be building, but again, I would expect having the PA especially more of that Yules, more than initiation style, magic damage focused. Top lane, though, what is setting up here? It looks like, I mean, Hester Ron's trying to go in. Okay, that's Anti-Mage blinking away. Yeah, he got a crit initially, so losing a fair amount of life. Maybe next time is just going to TP out, realizing they do not have a stopper. And that does go back to the lack of crowd control on either side. Consistent crowd control, that is. And TP is a very valuable item if that's the case. So Magnus makes it out.
Very reliant on Earth Spirit being there anytime they want to go for these ganks, or for Brewmaster to use a Primal Split. They get a little bit better, especially once they get this Blink Dagger on Batrider. Blink Lasso to start fights, give them some good control. Even that is like a longer cooldown that you have to play around.
So RMN, he is passing up the Divine Favor for now. He hits level 5 right there. Okay, he does pick up Divine Favor as I say that at level 5, but level 2 Holy Persuasion allows him to get slightly bigger creeps. He still can't get the level 6 ones yet. Now get level 5 as he's going in because Earth Spirit leading the way, but Pexu, nice Stormhammer, trying to keep them off his teammate, if anything, that being Madara. So Pexu, he might fall victim to this, but is technically the support. It's kind of funny seeing the Dazzle Sven, and Sven's the support. Anyways, Batrider comes in, so Pexu still must know where to the Magnetize, but KZU, he wants to get a turn right here. Madara puts on the Poison Touch. Biver, he is too far up, and the heal will finish the job. End up getting the turn there. Only support's going down on either side. They're going to smoke.
Looks like Spirit will just get the hell out of there.
Interesting smoke choice. They were even seen by the creep, I believe, so I don't know how sneaky this is, but
is under attack.
they're falling back. They give up the tower, or they're going to.
Hessinger, his offlane Brewmaster is actually having a much worse time. All Madara's deaths, he actually got some good CS. He's had some good comeback goals coming his way as well, and is in much better shape than Hessinger. I feel like the offlane difference each game has been like the deciding factor more than like most of these games we're seeing mids have pretty even matchups. Carries will get their farm, but all the games today it feels like one offlaner will have a good game, the other one.
Middle lane, heavy pressure here from the Shadow Fiend, the Brewmaster. KZ does have the Blink Dagger. We saw that even coming into play last fight, but not the most mana right now. And Magnus scan level 6, but no initiation yet. That's still going to be a ways off before he has anything. And playing more of that support role himself. Yes, you do see the Battle Fury timing for Anti-Mage. He's got 1,400 gold saved up, has the Perseverance, just needs that Demon Edge to go with the recipe. Speaking of Battle Fury, though, it's Phantom Assassin finishing hers much more before.
Wow, that's fast, but I imagine AM's not far to follow, but still, that's how PA keeps up with an Anti-Mage. That's how you play into the AM in a game like this, is you say, well, I can farm just as... So I've got, not a Blink, but I've got, you know, Blink Strike. It'll do the job. And we'll see how well PA can keep up on the farm, or whether or not Skitter can continue to outfarm the AM.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the net worth, it's again, without being to see their inventory 100%, but I'm guessing Anti-Mage win a couple more build-up items. I wouldn't be surprised if PA is still on brown boots, in fact. Okay, we are seeing her now. She does have
Wraith Band.
Yeah, that might be the difference. It does have double Wraith Band.
Yeah, Anti-Mage is triple, so it was really just a one.
Okay.
So not much separating the two.
And there you go. Now he has the Battle Fury, and just like that, he's actually about 100 net worth ahead. The Phantom Assassin has been kind of hiding up here, to be fair. Skitter, they're collapsing, going for that Dazzle. You have Shadow Fiend coming in as well. Where is he? We're looking at the vision, so we don't see him just yet. But yeah, Shadow Fiend in the invis. Madara, still no Shallow Grave, I'm guessing, because he's not using it right now. As he's just going to throw the heal up and try to survive, but he is cut down, so Madara falls. They do lose Chen over here, with maybe next time getting the kill. Was that an RP? It looks like no, it was not actually. But Hessinger Rotten goes down to Mage at the bottom lane while this is all happening. So big picture, I mean, Vega Squadron, maybe not that disappointing. You're already struggling on this Dazzle, so what's another death, I suppose?
Yeah, I think you're pretty happy with the AM, who's getting a lot more space and just moves around the map. He's going to go bottom, look to address the waves a bit, but it is Vega's Anti-Mage who's continuing to accelerate, and now 600 net worth ahead of the PA, which isn't much at all, but it's, you know, it's the role reversal. It's no longer PA leading the way.
We got to talk about the Shadow Fiend, by the way. Look at what he has. He's going Guardian Greaves.
It's kind of this utility SF build. The old SF 3 or 4 years ago would always rush. It was like people like Fata and Super from the Chinese scene would just. I mean, Mech was like a super crazy good item back then, but it was just the way to play SF.
Interesting.
RP for the Earth Spirit. Okay. Goodbye, Biver. In this game, the Guardian Greaves, well, get rid of Napalm stacks is the main thing, but I think he knows he's just going to enable the P damage. Going for this tanky build in the front lines may achieve that.
Well, enabling the PAs you saw right there, because that's what she can do. Just takes out Sven, drops him like it's hot. He buys back, though. Requiem comes out. The Dire team fairly spread out, however. Well, I guess Dazzle wasn't. He was right on top. And so he explodes. Obviously, they're trying to prevent this Roshan from happening.
Double damage, though. Okay, the double damage is...
Oh, man. Yeah, that's going to happen. Kazu tries to time it. It's not going to work out, though. And Skinner does pick up the Aegis, and now Case is in trouble. Mana Void comes out. He eventually drops on the Batrider. Mage, Mana Void, as pretty as it was, not nearly enough damage to get any kills. And he has to just blink away after the fact. So Team Spirit definitely winning that fight and getting the Aegis on Phantom Assassin, who is starting to take off now.
Yeah, what a time for a DD rune to help you kill Roche, to help you get those hero kills in the fight as well. That was a very fortunate timing to get a rune like that. And I mean, the reason they go for that Roche fight is as well. So it's not really like pure luck. They make their own luck by utilizing what's there in front of them.
Yeah, setting yourself up with the best chances there. You see a recall animation used there by Chen. I think he's recalling the PA who's at bottom lane. And there you go. Yeah, you see the mini-map there. And you know what? Anti-Mage was just flanking. They were going over as a team. That's the power of recall, though, with this Chen. It's like just like that. You think you have a chance to jump somebody. And nope. She's now at the top lane with the team. And they're going to push up here instead. So, God, yeah, seeing those Guardian Crews finishing full at Shadow Phoenix. All right, so I guess that old school build of sorts from the SF, but...
Yeah. I think SF trying to play him as like a damage dealer just is so hard to make work. You're better off playing around your raises and getting tanky. So Greaves, BKB kind of build.
Oh, that Desolator delivered mid-fight. Mage finally, or he's going to survive because of the shallow grave coming at the last second. Leveled up now by Dazzle. Is it enough, though, to get away? It's not. Dazzle also falls. Sven goes down, too. It's a disaster of a fight for Vega Squadron right now. Team Spirit just coming together so nicely. This Phantom Assassin especially is insanely farmed, as I mentioned. He got the Desolator literally as that fight was starting. And you could just tell with the amp damage. Double kill for him. 4 are dead in total. And they're going right down the middle lane for the tier 2 tower.
Usually you don't get to get away with going back. Yeah, it's like a beloved pub build for PA players. As okay, he's not done. He finds another. Skitter's just all over the map. That's a full team wipe. But the fact he got these items so fast and the other team has no magic damage. I mean, other than Batrider, which is good magic damage, but it's not like this insta burst. It's not like a Lina. You get away with this build because there's no, like, you know, Lina, SF, or whatever, some magic burst damage on the other side that deletes you. You don't need a BKB that fast. You don't even need health items. AM, you're not scared of. Magnus, Sven, you're not scared of these heroes, so you get to do this super greedy burst damage EPA build and just snowball. That's what's happening here for Skitter.
Absolutely, and again, I don't know what level that Divine Favor is, but even at level 1, it's still a nice damage amp to take advantage of, as well as the regen I'm sure Chen is applying to Skitter throughout these fights as well. Top lane, Batrider's going to be jumped by her Spirit. KZ was not able to react, and he is dead because of it. So they find a free kill. He's out for 35 seconds. That's a strong part of their initiation, of course, and that means this top tier 2 is now very likely in a troublesome spot as well, as they're going to continue pushing it. Anti-Mage will just split push the bottom lane, so it's going to turn into that kind of game, if anything, if whether or not that was a plan for Vega Squadron. More of this kind of split push. All right, you're going to push. We're just going to push out with Anti-Mage. They're TPing down there, though, aren't they? Yeah, they're trying to catch him. It's not going to happen, though. He blinks away.
I think that's what they should have definitely been trying to do instead of fighting. Like, yeah, they're taking Roshan, but I think give them Rosh. You've got Anti-Mage who's, you know, doing his thing. Anti-Mage should be ahead of the PA on net worth because of the team fights and the fact they lost the fight, lost Roche, lost objectives. It's all kind of connected. AM's 2k plus gold behind PA, whereas if they'd avoided that fight, give up Roche, it's okay because AM is pushing bottom, farming jungle. Even if they get towers off of that Aegis, AM, again, he's trading towers. They push mid tier 2, you push bottom tier 2. You've got to look for the trades rather than the fights.
Well, they're going to look for the tier 1 tower bottom, which they should easily get. And I think PA had to have bought something. Oh, she has a Mythal Hammer on her. Okay. So, yeah, in fact, the BKB's coming. So she's going to have a full BKB being delivered right here before another fight breaks out, ideally. But you look at the middle lane, what's going on while she's pushing this tier 2. Her team is setting up. I'm guessing she's being recalled. It looks like it. Yeah, recalling in, but they're going to go right back towards the bottom, funny enough. So, a little bit of a mistake there.
Yeah, they maybe thought a fight was going to be breaking out soon, but not the...
Dire's bottom tower has been
trying to catch Bexu. Dagger comes out. Dine's applied. Still going in. You see the war cry just evaporates right there. But Skitter, who gets caught now by the lasso. TP's coming in. He has Phantom Strike backwards. And he's at least good initially, and it looks like he is making his getaway. Divine Favor kicks in. There's those Guardian Greaves. And all of a sudden he's back to full life. He did lose the Aegis, or was reclaimed even, but he gets away at least.
Yeah, you take the no casualties and you just continue to pressure this top lane where PA is going to be forced to defend, so AM just making sure that Team Spirit unable to get completely out of control with his split push shenanigans.
It's over here, Sven. Yeah, he has no clue. Again, that recall coming into play. Phantom Assassin pushing out top lane. Gets recalled in.
it's such a good way of dealing with the split push, having this recall on Chen now.
Yeah. Yep, they took it from Coddle and gave it to Chen. There's that Shrine kill. So the BKB on Shadow Fiend to go with the Guardian Greaves. And
I'm glad to see the new Coddle ultimate. It's a lot more fun, teamfight centric. They had to, you know, move some of the spells around to make room for it. So I think it makes sense. And you know, Chen got this cool new spell, but Coddle got something even crazier. So nice to see, you know, some fresh new stuff coming into Dota.
I agree. Yeah, it's these sexy changes, as I like to call them. You know, Lich was another one where it's like, oh, people were wondering, is this going to be good for Lich or not? But man, if anything, it makes the hero just more fun. Which let's be honest, it's a game after all. So I'm fine with changes like that.
Lich was the most brainless hero in Dota. I think for pubs, maybe like more in like the mid MMR ranges, Chainfrost was like a really fun spell, but in high MMR, Chainfrost is like a pretty hard ultimate to get like a lot of damage out of.
Yeah.
So it's not like the best ultimate by any means. So you're literally working Frost Armor and Dark Ritual or Sacrifice Machine. It's the most like boring way to play Dota. So now you've got 4 spells. You've gone from having like 2 spells to 4.
It's amazing. It really is. Yeah, no, the hero changed quite a bit, and like I said, it's no doubt a lot more fun to play now. Absolutely. And then you got Grimstroke as well, so all the double chain fry, it just gets even better.
Oh yeah, seeing these Lich Grimstroke is definitely a lot of fun to watch. But here we go. What's happening? No real objective progression for either team, but split push happening. It is a increasing gold lead for Team Spirit, who's up 9k. They appear to be perhaps just, you know, waiting for a pickoff of some sort, or well, more likely next Roshan, which is coming up in like 30 seconds or so. So we'll see them maybe looking to pick that up before they go for any kind of high ground play.
There's the Basher purchased by Phantom Assassin. And she still has that BKB a full 10 seconds, I'm pretty sure. Good to go as well. But yeah, Anti-Mage, you constantly look over the net worth and is keeping up. In fact, you see him up here at the top lane. Is blinking with the PA. God, that blur is so good. They got to be so close to the hero to actually see her. And by the time they realize what's going on, it's not going to make a play. They just fall back, and they're going to TP out, in fact. Away,
yeah,
so.
It doesn't have buyback here, which is... needs to be a little bit careful, maybe. But does have teammates in the neighborhood, and
what have we here?
Maybe thinking that he can be recalled out should it really be needed.
Which my matriarch will prize.
They're moving like they're smoked right here, but I guess it's 25-minute bounty runes.
Yeah.
They're going for
yeah,
it.
both teams will grab 2 apiece, which kind of highlights that this game is pretty even with the 8k gold. By no means convincingly. I think the issue for Vega is that they're just an anti-mage. Their other 2 cores, Dazzle and Batrider, are not good at scaling and are not very well farmed. Whereas for Radiant, for Spirit, you've got Shadow Fiend, who's also looking like he's going to scale well into the late game. AM doesn't like these kind of games where he's got to like 1v5 when he's not super far ahead. If AM wins these kind of games, it's normally like 30 minutes because he's double the net worth of the enemy character, which is not.
Bottom lane, Vega was pushing a bit, but they decided to fall back. As Butterfly is finished though on Anti-Mage. And actually, there's all 5 heroes. Yeah, all 5 heroes are down here for Vega Squadron. They see PA at the stairs. And it almost feels like Team Spirit's the one having to play a little defensive now, just like that. Which feels odd considering how this game has been playing out so far. But I guess Anti-Mage is now at a point where you have to obviously respect what he can do. And how much of a threat he truly is. And they have solid initiation, specifically with that Batrider. Looks like all of Vega Squadron is just TPing back, though. I guess Roshan is ultimately what we're waiting for. There's a double damage rune in front of Roshan, which is pinged out. That could be key.
Yeah. That is a pretty handy one to have. If they can leave that for the PA, and I gotta imagine they've got good Radiant Vision around this area. Die with the 1-ward, we'll probably see a lot of these heroes moving towards the pit. And I think PA probably going to get recalled in for this DD. We'll see. I think PA wants to clear another creep wave down bottom first.
Yeah, he's definitely eventually going to. They're going to notice Roshan's up, and exactly, they're making their way over. There you go. There's the recall. There's a double damage, and here we go. So Vega, can they respond in time with a double damage? It's going to be so tough. Can't see the life just okay. There's the life. So they notice now Flame Break comes in. Divine Favor's put up, though. I mean, that's just dead. That was like a 10-second Roshan kill, if that. They really just did not have a chance.
They kind of suggested they wanted to contest it, but just fell too fast, and well, all they can do is go back to their split push. Anti-Mage just back down bottom, trying to push out that wave, and we'll see if Radiant Team Spirit can break the high ground or not here. DD Rune, like 5-10 seconds left. Won't really get much building damage out of it, if any.
Dire's middle barracks
There we go. DD Rune wearing off right there.
Radiant's
Stormhammer trying to slow things as much as they can, but Brewmaster jumps in. Primal split. Madaro's caught. Has the guard increase. Going to get the Shallow Grave off. No, he cannot. He dies. He has buyback, though. He's out for 45 seconds. Oh, we do. Yeah.
They're going for multiple. They're like, AM, you're going to take out bottom racks. We're going to make sure we take at least a second melee rack in to make sure this is worth it for Team Spirit.
All right. Well, that's exactly what they're doing. The buyback on Madara, but you see Anti-Mage. It looks like he is TPing back now. And yeah, he officially has TP'd back as they try to show the bottom right there, but obviously he's already back at this point, getting the Raxo. However, the RP on a couple of heroes, buyback from Sven as he died right there, Requiem from a distance, doing still plenty of damage as well as the slow and the everything else, the damage mitigation. Mage, can he blink away? He does initially because of the Shallow Grave, so he'll survive, but he is not doing a whole lot of damage in this fight now because of that. Phantom Assassin was picked up, but that 1500 crit just cuts down Sven for the dieback. Obviously, PA coming back from the Aegis. And now the melee racks is going to be focus fire down. So Anti-Mage doing damage there, but they are going to get 2 sets of racks compared to the 1. Still favoring Spirit.
Yeah. I think it was a good call from Spirit. They could have gone back to defend their rack bottom, but they wouldn't have been able to get a racks to do that. What the hell is going on?
I don't know what that was.
Guys?
These the CIS casters, man. They have some interesting production, I'll say that. Yeah. They have some fun.
It's the holiday. We'll give them a pass.
Yeah. Either way, that was favoring for Team Spirit, but again, that just shows you that Vega Squadron still has hope at least. The Anti-Mage, and we've known this for a long time now what this hero can do, and can in some ways take over a game and win it by himself. So Team Spirit still has that constantly in the back of their mind, but no doubt in control, and the net worth graph, if you're in any doubt, helps remind you that is the case as well. As you see there. Brewmaster, Aeon Disc picked up. Make sure you can get off that Primal Split. It's pretty good for him.
Yeah, they did use Aegis that fight, so we'll see if they can go for another play at this top lane for the racks or anything. They've got Cheese at least, so maybe they're going to feel confident enough.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Top lane. Looking like they want to go. Pexu falls back, though, before he gets jumped out of the tower. Get pushed in now, and
last racks.
The mega creeps, that would be the plan at least. Keizu gets hits to Rabo with the Aeon Disc. It completely distorts their plans. Sven just explodes as the Requiem comes out. Yeah, that was probably the worst target he could have jumped, honestly, considering he had that Aeon Disc. And I don't know if he realized that initially. Either way, he goes down, he drops a gem, I believe, way back there, but oh, that was a sword. Never mind. Good old coup de grace. Okay, they kill Brewmaster.
But this is the last racks. This is Megas. Oh, RP catches Chad.
Oh, man. Magnus just evaporated. We're seeing these massive crits now come out. Phantom Assassin with an ultra kill, and that's mega creep, so Vega. I know they don't want it to be so, but I think the victory is just about here for Team Spirit as Mage jumps in, but well, his magic resistance isn't going to do a whole lot against that massive physical damage.
Yeah, the SF just amps it up with his passive too is the crazy thing. That aura, pretty damn strong. The AoE of it was buffed as all the aura AoE changes, making them all 1200. So his damage just getting out of control this game.
That actually does make a lot of sense with the whole Shadow Fiend building the way he did, especially, and like you mentioned with the aura, it kind of just allows him to be there for the Phantom Assassin, and throwing out the Requiem, which again, Requiem's also a very interesting ability in that, of course, the damage is the fun part of it, but it does the slow and it does the damage mitigation against enemies as well. So it's kind of a defensive tool on top of it all, and fun seeing him play that way.
Unfortunately for Kai-P, they are eliminated with that result since they needed Team Spirit to lose. So we'll see both Spirit and Vega advance as a result. I think Vega's draft deck a little bit too greedy and out there. Having the mid Bat Rider was kind of nice against the SF, but they, I don't know, just went a bit too all in on this Anti-Mage. He was really Anti-Mage versus the world once they got past the mid game.
Yeah, so again, to clarify that, Vega Squadron, They're now 1-3 with KaiP, but as we found out, the tiebreaker rule, it is head-to-head first, and, well, Vega did beat KaiP yesterday in their match that they played against them. So they win the tiebreaker. They're moving on no matter what. Team Spirit is, of course, as well, now being in that 2-2 record. So, yeah, as you pointed out, KaiP officially eliminated here out of Group B, despite their victory earlier. Unfortunately, still not enough. But that means we got one more match now to finish off the day of what is the group stages. And it'll be between two teams that are essentially playing for first place. They're playing for first place in the group. We got Vega Gaming versus No Pango. The two teams going at it. Winner will get the first seed, loser either the second or third seed. Again, really it doesn't matter the most, to be frank, as far as playing who you play in that first round, because you put out in Group A, all four teams, you know, somewhat even on even footing. But either way, pride mixed in, the first place seed technically on the line. So we'll see how that looks there. But Vega Gaming versus No Pango, our final match of the day. Again, I was BreakyCPK, joined by GoDz. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be back.